What's going on, guys? This video is dedicated to Leonard Cure. Leonard Cure was an unarmed black man who was killed by police the other day in a shooting that could have been totally avoided. I want to avoid defamation and stating facts that I do not know are for sure. But from what I have read is that Leonard Cure was speeding on Interstate 95 in Georgia. Interstate 95 in Georgia has a speed limit of 70 miles per hour. I state this because it is important to know that in the state of Texas, which is different, once you've crossed the threshold of 25 miles per hour over the speed limit, it is considered criminal conduct. I don't understand what it is in Georgia yet. I've read something from a law office by Fisher. I will put the link in the description of the law office website, where they state that the fine is about $1,000 for something like this. However, this is totally unrelated because this was not used at all in this situation. The police officer, Officer Aldridge, who was previously fired for bad conduct before, demanded this man get out of his car. Obviously, already we can see that this man suffers from authority complex. I don't know. I don't want to say police officers are all suffering from this, but it is clear in this case that this officer suffers from authority complex. He demands a cure to get out of his car, a man who already has a bad interaction with authority, wrongfully convicted for 16 years, demands him to get out of his car from a distance, not even at your window. When you get pulled over by the cops, they come to your window, they roll it down, they ask for your insurance, your registration, all these type of stuff. In the case if it's violent or something like you have a warrant, they might call for backup and tell you to come in a calm manner, sit down. This guy yelled at him, told him to get out, put his hands on the back of the vehicle. Obviously already he is stressed. They're both stressed out. He has set the tone for disaster. This is a match made in hell, honestly. A bad cop and a person who has had bad interactions with the law. So obviously these two are on the opposite spectrum, and then on top of that, this guy incites the flame. He just makes the interaction worse. He then orders him to put his hands on the vehicle, which is fine. In this situation, I guess it's too late now to change what you could have, to go back now. The second that as they are arguing, Cure raises his hands, pointing to the heavens. I don't want to say that he's praying, but he was pointing to the sky. He gets tased. Obviously, anybody would be pissed off by that. You weren't threatening the cop in that situation, yet you got tased. I personally wouldn't have fought the cop, but at this point, the cop is just asking for it. Like, this all could have been avoided if he had some decency and respect, but clearly he does not. And on top of that, they start grappling, and then Cure gets fatally shot. While I do know that Officer Aldridge has been put on leave, that is not enough. This guy needs to be fired. He needs so much money needs to be taken from this municipality. How can you hire someone who suffers from authority complex, violated some conduct form before, yet you still hired him, and this happened? It's like as if a cop pulled someone over for reckless driving, let them go on a warning, and then that person crashed and killed another person. That cop was at fault in that situation. This cop, Officer Aldridge, should be at fault for this as well. The whole city of the police department that hired him should be held accountable. The city should be held accountable. They should lose so much money for this. This is unacceptable, and nobody's talking about it. Quite frankly, I understand that Palestine and Israel is a huge conflict. It is sad what is going on. Nobody deserves to die, obviously, and I have sympathy for the people of Palestine and obviously for the innocent people in Israel that are being killed. However, at the same time, this story is nobody's covering it. I see it on the major websites, but nobody's really talking about it. You have Ben Shapiro yet again babbling about stuff that quite frankly, I don't think he even understands. Like, being a black man in America, this is an issue. These people don't care, and it's not a story right now because of that. A black man was killed by a cop, maybe not racist, but suffers from authority complex, a bad cop. What there is no other way to put it. This should be, and this should end with either. I honestly think that, yes, I recently heard that you can't charge it for murder because it was self-defense. Yes, it was self-defense, but the conduct, the way it was handled, could have all been avoided if measures of decency and respect were applied. This officer should be fired. He should not be able to work in a position of power. He should not be able to work in a position that holds any firearms. The best thing he should be able to work as is a McDonald's janitor. That's his ceiling from now on. He has no right to work in a position of authority or with firearms in his life. He has shown twice now that he is not capable of doing that. And on top of that, the family of Leonard should receive a lot of money from that city for what they have done. They have put another man's life in danger, and that person is killed. That person has been killed. He was killed for standing up for himself, and there is no other way to put it. Shame on the state of Georgia, shame on that city, and shame on Officer Aldridge.